As many of you know, I'm a huge movie fan. I love going to the movies, and over the last year, for obvious reasons, movies have been difficult to go watch in the theater. But there are a few movies that I'm really excited to see. One of them being the new James Bond movie. It's got to do some reshoots, but for reasons that I think also kind of show a sign of the times. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rojo Reads the News. I'm your host, Paul. Remember, if you like what you see, please consider supporting me. Today's article comes from Cinema Blend. No Time to Die might have to go into reshoots for a very unique reason. Can you guess what it is? I actually think it's kind of interesting. Let's check this one out. After nearly 2 years of delay from its original intended release date in 2019, No Time to Die recently underwent another push to a later page on the calendar, with October 8th acting as the new home for the 25th adventure in the James Bond franchise. It's going to be really interesting to see how Daniel Craig's final installment holds up after one of the longest delays in Bond history. And it looks like there's already a problem with the timeliness of Kori Joji Fukunaga's entry into the current era 007. I always struggle with that name. That's a tough one. As there's talk of reshoots being needed for very unique reason. By the time the film's finally released, the gadgets will be noticeably outdated. Wow. I mean, when you go back in time, you look at some of the old James Bond movies, you know, oh, I remember those. I remember that time. Wonder what it would be like now. This is just filmed like 2 years ago, and already the gadgets are outdated. It's the times that we live in. We're not talking about how No Time to Die's various technical devices will age in the long run, but rather upon debuting after that near 2-year gap. It's something that, according to a new report from The Sun, has various sponsors that participated in product placement arrangements concerned. And now the current factors surrounding the release of this final Craig-era movie have posed the following problem, described by an anonymous insider. The details of the gadgets and things are all kept tightly under wraps, but everyone knows that James Bond always carries the latest kit with him. The problem is that some of those things were the very latest models back when they started filming. But by the time the movie comes out now, it will look like Daniel Craig and all of the other cast members are carrying something that has been out for ages. That isn't really the point of these deals. The big tech firms want the stars to have all the new up-and-coming products to help promote them and sell them to fans. Yeah, this is common. Product placement's always been a thing, right? It means some of the scenes are going to have to be very carefully edited and looked at to bring things up to date. There may be no time to die, but apparently there's even less time to sell. With most other films, this might not even be something that comes up in conversations surrounding delays in production and release. But as most James Bond fans will tell you, product placement is actually a pretty important piece of the 007 machinery. The James Bond legacy has always sold a particular lifestyle to its fans, and No Time to Die is no exception. As this anonymous insider has highlighted, the tech that Bond is seen with on screen is stuff that 007 loyalists are going to want to have for themselves. This has been an especially crucial component in the Daniel Craig era, since the franchise's previous home at Sony allowed their electronic devices to be shown rather prominently in Casino Royale through Spectre. When you watch those films again and see how many Sony phones and computers you can spot. You know, I didn't even realize that. I'm going to have to, next time I see these movies, I'm going to be on the lookout for Sony products. Of course, since Universal and MGM are picking up the tab for No Time to Die, there was no need to look for new sponsors to provide the latest round of cutting-edge tech. One such vendor is cell phone manufacturer Nokia, who have gone as far as shooting an ad to promote their latest model with Lashana Lynch's Nomi. However, the ad you're about to see ran in September in anticipation of a November 2020 release date, which means this phone is probably in the public's hands and doesn't feel as exotic or Bondian. Great word, Bondian. I'm gonna have to use that. I'm gonna steal that. Product placement is a surefire way to excite your fans, sell some merch, and offset the massive budget should your film cost something in the ballpark of $200 million to make. As No Time to Die is the most expensive Bond film to date, and the delays to the movie's theatrical release cost roughly $1 million for every month shelved, now's not the time to be upsetting your sponsors. So it wouldn't be surprising if Daniel Craig and the rest of the cast were to reassemble in order to get some pickup shots of a sweet new Nokia phone being used in the field. It won't distract from the movie itself. I'm still very excited for the movie and all the changes that are going to happen. I think Daniel Craig era is the best era of the Bond franchises. Yes, I said that. Yes, I believe that it is better than the than the Sean Connery era. I don't think many people would disagree that maybe even better than the Pierce Brosnan era, but I think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond for the modern time. He's my James Bond, the one I kind of grew up with. Besides Pierce Brosnan, who was great, I think Daniel Craig brings an edge to it. And I've always loved the gadgets and the lifestyle that the Bond franchise sells. It's kind of something that I think a lot of men secretly crave. Am I wrong about that? What do you think? Comment below, let me know. Don't forget to check out my main vlog channel, Walkabout Rojo, my general life here in China and throughout Asia. We'll see you there.